Let's talk about some of the mistakes that you should be looking out for when you're first starting off with the carnivore diet. I remember when I first started the carnivore diet, I was still in this mindset that I thought I had to track all my calories, because before hopping onto the carnivore diet, I was following a bodybuilding diet where I was trying to cut down, I was trying to lose body fat. And to do that, I had to track my calories. I was eating around 2,200 calories every day or something. And when I started the carnivore diet, I thought I still had to eat that amount of calories every day. So I was tracking how much ground beef I was having, how much butter I was having, how much eggs, how much chicken thigh. And what this essentially did was it took away the whole benefit of the freedom that the carnivore diet gives. Because on the carnivore diet, you just have to eat as much as you want. You have to take, I don't know, 1 kilogram of ground beef, one whole ribeye, two ribeyes, and you just start eating when you're hungry. When you're completely full, when the food doesn't taste nice anymore, that's when you stop. And when you do that, that is when you will automatically lose body fat and build muscle. But because I was still restricting myself with calories, I was not getting that benefit. I was still in hunger. Yes, I was losing body fat, but I wasn't building muscle and I wasn't feeling as great as I could have when I was just eating freely. Right now, I'm eating 30 eggs a day. I'm eating 1 kilogram of ground beef, some butter, maybe some chicken thighs, maybe a bit less, maybe a bit more of everything. And I feel amazing. I'm losing body fat, I'm building muscle, and my energy level is insane. And I feel the best I've ever felt in my entire life. So this is the way to eat, and don't make the mistake of still tracking your calories. Then another mistake that I made at the beginning that you should also not do is eating too lean. When I was first starting out, I was eating a lot of chicken breast, a lot of chicken thighs. I was eating regular steaks, but then the lean variant and not like the rib eyes. I was eating basically only protein and very little fat because I was still in this mindset of my old bodybuilding diet, just like tracking the calories, that I had to eat lean meat because it had very low amount of calories while having a high amount of protein. And that's what you want when you're on a bodybuilding diet, because you want to get as much protein as possible while still having as much room for other calories as possible. But on the carnivore diet, you need to switch to the exact opposite. You need to eat the fattiest meat possible. So ribeye or ground beef, or you can have some pork or chicken thighs, while chicken thighs are not as fatty as the other ones. Eat fatty meat. That's basically the whole thing. Eat fatty meat until it stops tasting good. And that's when you'll hit the sweet spot of the carnivore diet and you'll start getting all the benefits of this diet. So another thing that I did was, after a few weeks of strict carnivore, I watched a video of Pal Saladino. He's a former carnivore and he's now animal based. He's also eating fruit and he's drinking milk and he's having all these other things like cheese and stuff. He said that a lot of people on carnivore, they are super thirsty. They have to drink a lot of salt, and that's exactly what I was doing. I was having water with a lot of salt in it because I was super thirsty. And he was also talking about some of the other side effects of the carnivore diet, like that people were in ketosis for too long, that they were waking up at night with headaches and sweats. And that was also some of the things that I was getting because I was still in this adaptation phase of the carnivore diet. And because of that, I started eating carbs again. I started eating sugar again. I started having fruit, and I also had raw milk and cheese. And I thought that this was good, that this was actually how we were supposed to eat. But it only made me realize that it isn't actually. It isn't really that nice to eat, because I remember before my workouts, I would have a large plate of fruit. Like I had one banana, one apple, like 5 dates. I had, during my workout, I would have one of these bottles filled with water. Then I would add salt. I would add like 2 teaspoons of raw honey, and I would add some lemon juice. And there were a lot of carbs, like a lot of carbs. And sure, it's energy, but it didn't really make me feel good. I was always kind of brain foggy, distracted during my workout, and after my work I would have this huge crash because all the carbs, they were used up and I didn't have any energy left. After a while, I quit that. I stopped eating carbs at all, like none, and switched to full carnivore, only fat, only protein. And I just felt so much better. So the mistake you should be avoiding is having carbs, having like a little bit of carbs, or having a carb day or a cheat day on your carnivore diet, because on one of those days you will basically undo all the positive effects you have built up with the whole diet in one go. I actually thought that the last 10%, like the last 50 grams of carbs, the 10% wouldn't really matter. But it turns out that those 10% actually matter the most. That if you cut out the last 10% or 5% of carbs, that's when you will actually start getting the huge benefits of this diet. So don't eat carbs anymore, like none, zero. That's when you get the benefits. Then something that I did in the very beginning of my carnivore diet was I was still using spices and herbs. I did this because they tasted nice and I didn't really like the taste of ground beef with only salt. So I was still using paprika powder, I was using garlic powder, I was using some Italian herbs, I was using pepper and all this to enhance the flavor of the meat because I thought it's okay. It's not really harmful in any way, so how could it be? But it turns out that the spices, they are actually the part of the plant with the most taste because it has the most defense chemicals. Because that's the plant actually warning you, watch out, don't eat me. This has a lot of flavor, this has a lot of very specific taste, so don't eat me, I'm dangerous. But what we humans do, we think, oh, nice specific taste, oh, I should eat it. No, we shouldn't eat it. It's actually bad for us. Actually, I just thought about this like 2 weeks ago. Pepper, it's spicy, right? And we like the taste, but the spicy, the hot kind of taste is actually the plant warning us. Like, watch out, this is hot, this is spicy, this is kind of painful in your mouth, so you shouldn't eat me. But we do eat it, so that's just something I just thought of. So I would just say, stop using spices at all. No more spices, no more herbs, only use salt. That's definitely the best for you. Then something very specific that I still kept doing for a long while and also a few weeks ago is I was still using pre-workout before all my workouts. Now, I didn't think this was a problem at all because it's just a drink and there's no carbs in it, there's no sugar in it, there's no fat in it, there's nothing in it except of weird chemicals, weird additions, weird sweeteners, colorants, and amino acids. Okay, amino acids are okay, caffeine is okay, but these weird sweeteners, these artificial sweeteners, that's what really is the bad part of pre-workout. Now, I didn't actually know this, but the sweeteners inside of pre-workout, they actually stop ketosis and autophagy. Now, ketosis is your body turning fat cells into ketones, and ketones is a very efficient form of energy. And autophagy is basically your body reusing dead and sick cells to become healthy again and just filtering out all the disease and sickness in your body. Also cancer cells. That's something huge. So that's definitely something you want. So when I was still using pre-workout, I wasn't getting ketosis, I wasn't getting autophagy, and only now do I realize that that was the reason why I was still feeling tired, because I would have this workout and I was feeling great in my workout. I was super energized because of all the caffeine. Then my focus was great, my pump was great, and my whole workout was insane. Like, working out with pre-workout is without a doubt so much better than without pre-workout. But the downside is, after a workout, when the caffeine has stopped working, that is when I would have this huge crash. I was so tired, so drained. I would lay on the couch for like 1 or 2 hours, and basically my whole day would be ruined because I didn't have any energy left. And at night, I would lie awake in my bed, even though I was tired, because the caffeine was still in my body. Because at around 10 or 11 in the morning, I would have this pre-workout with about 350 milligrams of caffeine. And the half-life of caffeine is about 5 hours. So it takes 5 hours for caffeine to halve in size. So after 5 hours, I would have, what is it, 175 milligrams of caffeine still in my body instead of the 350. And that will be around 4 p.m. or something. And then later at like 8 or 9 p.m., I would still have about 90 or 80 milligrams of caffeine in my body that's still working. So that's when I would be lying in bed with 80 milligrams of caffeine still active. So no wonder I was feeling like shit when I was in my bed and I was having a very low sleep quality. So stop using pre-workout if you are using it, and if you don't use it, don't even use it, don't even start. So that were the 5 things that you should look out for when you're first starting your carnivore diet. If you don't make these mistakes, you will have such an easier transition period and such a more beneficial carnivore diet experience. I hope this video has helped you. If it has, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe, and let me know what you thought about this video by sending me a DM on Instagram. I've got a link in my video description. This is so stupid that I have to say this. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.